Welcome to episode 4 of Comparing Dante's Inferno. I'm going to start with a lengthy recap this time in case you need it. In this recap, I'm going to refer to Game Dante as the Warrior and Poem Dante as the Pilgrim. The Warrior dies during the Crusade but escapes death by killing him. On his way home, he becomes lost in a forest. Finally, he reaches home. Pilgrim starts lost in a forest, meets Virgil, and enters hell immediately. The warrior arrives home to find his father and wife Beatrice killed. We later find out that they are actually the victims of Dante's lust. The pilgrim takes a back seat at this time for game plot. Warrior enters hell and meets Virgil. This is when the two stories meet. Warrior crosses the river Acheron on Charon's back and then kills him. Pilgrim meets Charon and Virgil insists that he may cross. He is suddenly moved to King Minos. King Minos is explained to be the judge of the dead. Warrior kills him to pass, while the pilgrim just passes after Virgil tells him to shut up. They enter lust. The warrior reflects on his past sins of lust. He took a prisoner girl to bed in exchange for her freedom as well as her brother's. We find out that was not her brother, but her husband. In a jealous rage, the husband seeks out Dante's wife and kills her. Warrior Dante kills Cleopatra and Mark Antony for getting in the way, and Satan has complete claim to Beatrice's soul. The pilgrim talks for a while with Francesca and Paolo before entering gluttony. When the pilgrim enters gluttony, Virgil feeds Cerberus muck from the ground to pass instead of cutting off and blowing up his heads. Pilgrim meets an old friend while the warrior reflects on his sins of gluttony and how similar that made him to his father. The warrior realizes how corrupt his holy cause may have been.
Father. Take it all.
How will I feed my family?
That's not my problem. I have friends to entertain.
For the crime of greed do these souls suffer. Those clerks, a squint of mind, made no measured spending in life. And by contrast, in these popes and cardinals, greed practiced its excess.
In Greed, the game introduces a new enemy called the Hoarders and Wasters, which are two people stuck together wielding a mace. This is based on a section of the poem that involves two types of the greedy colliding. One says, "Why hoard?" while the other one says, "Why waste?" They are the prodigal and the miserly. The game has greed to be a series of small challenges.
All the earth's treasure that is beneath the moon, or ever was, cannot give relief to these weary souls. What a mockery is made of the brief battle for possessions that makes so short a life.
The greed level continues with many battles and challenges with obvious themes of greed for a while, which I think is strange considering how short this part of the poem is. Halfway through the canto, Dante has already arrived at the river Styx.
The wheel of fortune. He who made the heavens named a guide who transfers vain goods from one blood to another.
You think you're a better man than your father?
I think I am too much the same man as my father.
Then turn back, coward!
Beatrice does not deserve this. I will not go back without her.
Then we'll find out who's the better man. Use me as an excuse! Blame me for everything!
You're so full of greed and hate. Is that all you had to offer me?
I'm not responsible for the man you are!
And I will not be damned like you.
So warrior Dante finally faces his father, and we proceed towards anger. And Virgil's game dialogue is coming even closer to the poem's original text as we go.
See the souls over whom anger has prevailed. In the warm bath of the sun, they were once hateful. Down here in the black sludge of the river Styx, do they wish they had never been born?
Virgil combines the punishment a bit in the game here. In the circle of anger, the wrathful fight each other in the swampy river Styx, while underneath are the slothful, which you can tell are there from the bubbles of breath coming to the surface of the swamp. After a while, they reach the foot of a tower, which is seen as you enter the level.
Your immaculate father hereby absolves you!
We came here to kill these heretics!
We came to reclaim the Holy Land!
Since when are heretics worth a Christian life? Enough!
Now, my son, the city of Dis draws near, housing its condemned citizens within. The eternal fire that blazes there makes the mosques show red in this nether hell.
In the poem, the tower sends a signal to summon Phlegius, the boatman of the river Styx, which comes speeding across to get them. Of course, to make the game longer, you're expected to climb the tower and activate the signal yourself. As they cross, they're attacked by someone who knew Dante. He is Filippo Argenti. He's pushed back into the river and appears in the game as an optional soul. You'll also notice that the boat Dante rides here in the game doesn't have the boatman, but at the end of the ride, Phlegius shows himself.
Did I come to this fate?
I do believe we have a deal.
Why has Dante forsaken me? When you had your way with that girl, you gave me to Lucifer!
She wagered her soul that you would be faithful. Her faith in you was very touching, so I thought, just the girl for me. I owe this all to you, my friend. Now, let my power flow through your soul. Give in to our union, and together we will regain paradise!
Don't do it.
The faithful has lost her faith. The incorruptible has become corrupted. The true innocent has given way to the sins of man, like all the rest before.
Who now can deny me my rights?
We moved toward the city, secure in our holy cause, and beheld such a fortress. And on every hand I saw a great plain of woe and cruel torment. Bitter tombs were scattered with flame, made to glow all over, hotter than iron need be for any craft. And such dire laments issued forth, as come only from those who are truly wretched, suffering, and forever lost.
When they reach the gates of Dis, they are harassed by figures and they slam the gate shut. They're both afraid, but Virgil assures Dante that help from heaven is coming. They are threatened by the three Furies and Medusa. Eventually an angel comes and opens the gate. The lines Dante speaks on the way are very similar to what he says in the poem. Here, of course, Dante rides Phlegyas into Dis and wrecks everything. They soon reach the sixth circle of hell, Heresy.
Here you will find the heretics and followers of every cult and pagan sect, all buried together, burning in eternal fire. Not long after my own death, I saw a mighty one come down and take forth from here a group of ancient shades. Our first parent, his son, Abel, Noah, Abraham, and many others. The deep, foul valley trembled on all sides, and I thought the universe felt love.
Virgil is referring to Christ's descent into hell, which took place between his crucifixion and resurrection. He brought salvation to the righteous who have died since the beginning of the world. These few cantos regarding heresy and violence are really deep, so I won't try to cover it all here. The light that suddenly penetrated hell in the game just now could be a reference to Christ's salvation, or it could represent the angel that opened the path to them.
In this part of hell, Epicurus, with all his followers who make the soul die with the body, have their burial place.
In Heresy, all the heretics are buried together and stuffed into tombs, which you can see lining the walls of this level, along with the new enemy that represents false prophets. In this area of hell, Dante discovers that the shades suffering in hell can see the future, but not the present. And that's all for this episode. In the next we visit a river of blood, the wood of suicides, and other great vacation spots. Thanks for joining me again for comparing Dante's Inferno.